Hello, I'm Hamza, and this is my Audit Lab. We're diving into one of the most powerful tools in an auditor's toolkit, persuasive communication. Now, when I say persuasion, I don't mean the art of manipulation or strong arming someone to agree with you. Persuasion at its best, it's about connecting, understanding, and influencing others in a way that brings them willingly and eagerly along on the journey. It's about inspiring, not forcing. Think of persuasion like an art. Just like an artist blends colors on a canvas, a persuasive auditor weaves words, empathy, and logic into something meaningful. In our world of audit, this is key, not just for getting our recommendations accepted, but for driving real change in the business. In audits, we deal with complex data, findings, and complex risk. But here's the thing, facts rarely win hearts. Logic only tells you what to think, but persuasion tells you why you should care. Persuasion gives life to our audit reports. It transforms a technical process into something that moves people to take action, to change, and to improve. And isn't that why we audit in the first place? Now, persuasion isn't just about words. It's about how you say those words. It's about emotional intelligence, reading the room, knowing when to push and when to pull back. It's about empathy, understanding the challenges that your auditees face. And finally, it's about trust, building relationships where your voice is heard, not just because you're loud or because you have authority as an auditor, but because you're credible and respected. And building that credibility takes time and skills. Here's briefly how you do it. Truly understanding the auditee's perspective requires listening more than talking, paying attention to what is being said and what's not being said. Thoughtful, open-ended questions help uncover concerns, motivations, and underlying issues that need to be addressed before you can influence effectively. Being able to step into the other person's shoes builds trust and helps you frame your questions or your message in a way that resonates with their values and with their needs. Clear, confident communication ensures that your intentions to care and assist and your messages are well understood and taken seriously. And very importantly, being flexible enough to adjust your approach based upon feedback helps move the conversation in the right direction. Let me share a real-world example with you where persuasion made all the difference at a healthcare provider. I was auditing their patient data management system. On paper, it seemed straightforward, just checking compliance with regulation. But there was a serious pushback from their IT management. They felt overwhelmed by the ongoing IT implementation and saw the audit as an unnecessary distraction that would slow their progress. The resistance wasn't just about the audit, it was rooted in fear of exposing the system vulnerabilities that they just hadn't had time to fix, and concerns about how these issues would reflect poorly on them. Now, barging in with facts and demands wasn't going to help, so I shifted gears. First, I took time to understand their perspective. I scheduled an informal meeting with the IT director, not about the audit, but to hear about their ongoing challenges. I expressed empathy and acknowledged how difficult managing new IT expectations and implementations must be for them. Next, I reframed the audit, not as an intrusion, but as a tool to help them manage the gaps that they were already concerned about before they turned into major compliance issues. I demonstrated how the audit would give them the leverage to secure more resources for their projects by showing the higher-ups where improvements were urgently needed. Slowly, resistance melted. The IT team began to see us as partners, not adversaries. Once they trusted our intention, they actively collaborated. By the end of the audit, they were even suggesting other areas for review, turning what started as a resistance into a genuine partnership. Now let's get philosophical for a second, because persuasion skills are not just about getting your way in the boardroom, it's a life skill. When you're trying to convince a loved one to take that leap of faith, or when negotiating buying a property, or any other everyday situation, what are you essentially doing? You're communicating, you're persuading, you're negotiating. Life is full of negotiations, big and small. Good persuasive communication is about empathy. It's about understanding where someone's coming from and helping them see things in a new light. It's not about winning arguments. It's about inspiring action, whether that's in a personal relationship or in a critical audit. As auditors, when we hone our persuasive communication skills, we become not just better at doing our jobs, we become better humans. Because good persuasion requires you to really listen, to understand the other's perspective, and to create solutions that actually work for everyone. It teaches us patience, humility, and the value of shared understanding. In life, that's how you maintain strong relationships, manage conflicts, and build trust. Persuasion is like a dance. You guide, but you don't drag. You move in sync with the others, adjusting to their rhythm. And by doing so, you create harmony. In audits, that helps you bring your findings to life and ensures that the changes you recommend don't just land on paper, they truly stick. And the auditees are not just accepting it because they're supposed to, but because they genuinely want to implement those changes because it helps them do their jobs better. So as you walk into your next audit or your next conversation with a spouse, remember this. It's not just what you say that matters, it's how you say it. And how you say it will be influenced by how well you've understood the other person. That is how we make a real difference and create better lives. Thanks for tuning into my Audit Lab. Stay sharp and keep auditing.